Core 4 Elite 8 game number 2. It is the Egg Bowl. We're going to be talking about number 6 Ole Miss at Mississippi State. That game is kicking off at 12 Eastern on Friday, obviously in Black Friday, amidst all of the rumors that LSU is trying to swoop in and steal the Lane train, Lane Kiffin, away from Ole Miss. They're having an exceptional season. Trinidad Chambliss has been a godsend for them at quarterback when they weren't really sure where they were going to go after the injury to their original starting quarterback. And then Mississippi State kind of dealing with a very difficult season, a lot of lows, a lot of difficult losses, tough losses that they've had to try to come back from. I'm Greg Larnard, along with Malcolm Harris, Drew Rogers, and the man behind the scenes, Mr. Joseph Guthrie, and then Chase, Mr. IT, is off to the side. He'll be jumping in audio wise with us every once in a while. But boys, let's talk about it. Obviously, I know they're going to be at Mississippi State, but it is the Egg Bowl. It's rivalry week, the whole thing. Give me your thoughts, Drew. I'll start with you on this one. Ole Miss at Mississippi State.
Sure. So I don't know. I was looking at this matchup a little bit earlier, and kind of came away with a conclusion that I didn't expect to come to, which is I looked at Ole Miss's schedule and I was like, there's a lot of close games on this schedule. Doesn't really feel like that's been the case this year. Like you kind of just think of Ole Miss like they're 10-1, but by no means has this been smooth sailing for the Rebels. You add to that, they now have to go to Starkville. They have this looming coach free agency, which seems like it's resolved. It seems like what's going to happen has already happened. By all reports, it seems to have kind of died down. It seems like Lane's going to go where he's going to go. Now, they're not telling anybody until after the Egg Bowl, so that could be a contract extension. They could be writing Lane Kiffin the Nick Saban, you get paid more money every time a coach gets paid more money than you contract offer here. But we don't know yet at this point. So a lot of up in the air with Ole Miss, they beat Florida by 10 at home. They beat Oklahoma on the road, 34-26. I would say that's their best win. They lose to Georgia. They beat Washington State by 3 at home. And they beat LSU, who has become I know they were the number 4 team in the country at that point, but they have become a disaster since then, by 5 at home. And they beat Arkansas by 6 at home. And they beat Kentucky by a touchdown. So I kind of just think that Ole Miss is due to lose a game here. Am I off there, Joseph? I saw you grab the mic.
No, you're not, because I think in Lane Kiffin fashion, that's what we've come to expect. It's like, and I think we saw it from the Jackson Dart team last year, where it was like, hey, this should be a playoff team, and then they lose to Florida. And then now they're in this same similar spot where it's like, hey, Ole Miss, all you got to do is 11-1, you're in the playoffs. It's teeing up, man, we lost to Mississippi State.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think because they've kind of just been off to the side this whole year, it feels like. Like they lost to Georgia and everybody's like, oh, they were kind of expected to lose that one. So Ole Miss has kind of been pushed to the side. But what really happens when you get in the 10-2 slog of the SEC, like when you're playing against, I guess they give you the nod over Oklahoma. So now you're going against resume-wise against Vanderbilt, probably, if they beat Tennessee. You're looking at going against a lot of these other teams. I think they still get in here, even with a loss. So for that reason, boys, I've got Mississippi State this week.
God, that would be such a bad loss, though. That would be such a bad loss, though. I mean, like, I was doing some research before the show, and I was looking at Mississippi State, and I understand that Ole Miss has played some close games, and you just kind of alluded to it, Drew, where, there were some close games early, but I feel like this team wasn't really settled at that point, because
Sure.
Simmons was still there at quarterback, and then, Chambliss was kind of getting in the mix when Simmons got hurt, and it just feels like a much different team. And then to come off of that loss at Georgia, to turn around and go to Oklahoma and win that game on the road was pretty damn impressive. And over the last 3 weeks, the defense for Mississippi State has allowed 32 points per game. If they allow 32 points in this game, they're not winning it.
I mean, I think you could be onto something there. I hear you. But I mean, the whole point of rivalry, man, that is hard to say.
It's awful, bro.
Golly,
it's awful.
The whole point of rivalry week is that, I mean, it is just incredibly difficult. I mean, to predict any of these matchups. I'm sorry. I believe somebody's car's going off outside. I think
Okay.
Chase set on his keys.
Okay.
Oh,
Man,
man.
boys.
That's awesome. So it's incredibly hard to predict these matchups. And I look at a team like Mississippi State, who, no exaggeration, the other way, besides their last 2 games, really had a case to be. They really, man. Besides Texas A&M, they really had a case to be in the mix, not for the SEC title, but in the mix as a winning football team.
A tough out.
Yeah.
I think is what you're looking for.
I'm
Where
looking
it's like,
for.
hey,
I'm
listen,
looking for a
Mississippi
compliment
State's
here.
not playing for anything of like trophy-wise materialistic value, but they're a tough out. They're a good team. They're much improved than what they were last year. I think that's kind of what was that what you were looking for?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. If Mississippi State, if they can even pretend to stop the run in this game,
good luck.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but that's where the weak point of their defense is. I mean, because teams aren't coming into Mississippi State and lighting it up through the air. I mean, like you alluded to in the Georgia Tech preview, Joseph. I mean, Georgia just ran the ball, and I think that's a lot of what we could see, especially with Juwan Lacey coming off a 300-yard game versus Florida. I mean, that's
pretty good.
That's crazy. But again, I put myself in the position where now I have to take a bunch of swings. So it wasn't going to be Georgia Tech, but I'll bet on the team that I have taken to 3 national titles on NCAA 26. I'll bet on them. I know every single member of the team. Let me tell you something. Devon Booth is a very good SEC running back. Fluff Bothwell is a great compliment. Blake Shapen is not great. I'm not a big fan of Blake Shapen.
How about Brendan Thompson's been pretty good this year?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's probably the fastest guy in the SEC besides Trey Richardson.
He did get a little banged up in that game against Mizzou. I think he'll probably play in this game. I heard some that generally they don't let players that are hurt not talk to the media. He talked to the media this week, so I would assume he's going to play in this game.
Yeah.
But still, it's going to be a tough one for Mississippi State.
I agree.
They're at home. I mean, they have that, and I know that they played Tennessee really tight at home as well. So you could kind of lean your hat and hang your hat on that game, particularly at home. That hey, we took Tennessee to the wire. We pushed them. What was that? An overtime?
That was an overtime win.
Yeah. Well, overtime loss for Mississippi State. Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, they should have beat.
You can hang your hat on that.
Texas at home. They should have. They really should have beat Texas at home. But I mean, I look at this Ole Miss team more akin. They're more like Georgia than they are like Texas. So I get you. It's gonna be a very tough job for Mississippi State. But I don't think it's 0. When we came on here and did the Notre Dame Pitt preview, and I switched my pick to Notre Dame, I knew in that moment that it was 0. I don't think Mississippi State's in that situation this week.
Mississippi State playing for bowl eligibility too.
Yeah, that'd be big, especially in the Jeff Levy era.
Yeah.
You said you don't think it's going to be 0?
No,
Hello?
I don't. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I don't think the chances are 0 that Mississippi State can win this game. Absolutely not.
See, I do, bro.
Okay.
I think this is Lane Kiffin's this is the last hurrah. Everybody knows he's going to LSU. I just think it's happening.
Oh man, you could be right. I mean, it could be a done deal, but if it's going to be Lane Kiffin's last hurrah and any of the players know it, you think they're going to be motivated to run out on that field for him?
Yeah, because he has empowered them to be yo, this is just what college football is. I can leave, but you can leave at any time. Matter of fact, you can leave and come play for me. It's far better in Baton Rouge than it is in this shithole in Oxford.
Hey, that's true. That's a fair point. But after this game, they still have to go try to win a national championship no matter what Lane does.
Exactly. They still got to get a chance to go into the playoff and make a run.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
I get it.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, they're still in, correct?
The playoff?
Probably.
I think so.
Well, I mean, it depends on what they do with the Big 12. What's really going to be interesting is and I don't think they will, but what happens in some of these other conference title games? If BYU beats Texas Tech Like,
Well, then
I
BYU's
think-
definitely in.
No, I mean they're for sure in.
Yeah.
But like I think right now where BYU's sitting, if like Texas Tech beats BYU again, BYU's probably out, probably getting in that large bid
Yeah.
potentially. I mean, it depends on what happens ahead of them. But like right now, Ole Miss, it feels like they're in regardless of a win. At this point, it feels like are you playing a home playoff game or are you going on the road?
Sure. Yeah, I think Ole Miss is in no matter what, unless, like we've talked about before on this podcast. I mean, unless does Lane leave? Like, if Lane leaves, is that something for the committee to consider? I mean, I don't
Surely
personally
you
think.
wouldn't leave before that, no? I mean,
I
you're
think-
right. We are going to figure something out after the Egg Bowl,
Sure.
you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. The announcement is coming after the Egg Bowl. That's what that's by all earmarks. That's what we've heard that they've. I think it's figured out. I think it is completely figured out. I think that whatever they're going to do has already been done. So
per AD of Ole Miss,
yeah,
this is happening.
So for
Well,
me,
if he does leave, you don't think he coaches into the playoff? Like
No.
if they say like, hey, he's leaving at the end of the year, you don't think he coaches through the playoff?
we don't know. I mean,
I think he does.
I think he does
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Like that's
yeah.
what I'm like. I would be super motivated if I was a player to be like, all right, this is your last hurrah. Like let's go out on top.
Sure. I think it'd be an all-time like irredeemable move if he didn't coach through the playoff. Like I definitely,
Just kinda
I
left
hear
him
you
there.
there. I mean, yeah. Like, what do you even
Hold the
what do you
bag.
even say about a guy like
it
that?
would.
I mean, it's like if he would have left a team on the tarmac to go to USC. Or
Yeah,
something.
that's
I mean,
crazy.
Something like
if
that.
I had to throw out
Who
a
does
scenario,
that? Yeah, I
It
saw.
feels like old.
Hey,
Like
I
an
saw.
old Lane
I saw
Kiffin.
Ole Miss Twitter for the first time this week. Wild
Yeah.
place over there. Wild. Like I'm talking. Somebody wrote like a Dear Basketball letter to Lane Kiffin and like attacked him on every level of like being a man, a coach, a human being. I was like, wow, dude, this is
That's a
lot.
good way to make him stay.
I mean,
Like,
this is come on, guys. He's you're going through the best run in school history here. Come on now.
first coach to ever win 10 games 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
In Ole Miss history.
A lot to be thankful for Lane Kiffin. But yeah, I mean, does anybody have any final thoughts on the actual game here rather than just
I do.
okay, go ahead,
I
Joseph.
do. Because I feel like I'm in a similar angle with what we talked about in the Georgia Tech game. Like, is Mississippi State out of gas? Because like you talked about, they were a good win overtime against Tennessee. We're not going to talk about A&M. That was kind of belt ass. You barely lose to Florida
Shoulda
on the
beat
road.
Florida.
You probably should have beat Texas. Then you get a 3-point win versus Arkansas. And then all of a sudden you get blown out by Georgia and you lose by 22 to Missouri. So it's like you felt like you were on this stretch run of these really close, highly emotional games that you probably could have won, if not should have won, and already been bowl eligible. And you come up short, and then now all of a sudden you get this Arkansas win, and you've got back-to-back 20-point losses.
Yeah.
So, and I know you had a bye week before Ole Miss. Ole Miss also has a bye week. But one thing that kind of stuck out to me when you went through Ole Miss's schedule is that the thing I worry about is looking at their games and looking how they've played out and looking at the final scores. I don't think Ole Miss has pull-away power. And that's what concerns me as far as giving Mississippi State a chance to win this game is Ole Miss currently ranks on defense 29th in pass yards per game. So I think Mississippi State will have some shots here. They'll have some chances to move the ball. And if this game plays out the way that most of Ole Miss's other games have played, it'll be close.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of them beating South Carolina by 16 and Florida by 10, which they were losing to Florida for a while. That was at home. This is on the road in a rivalry game. Ultimately, I'm going to pick Ole Miss. I think they're the better football team. I think they'll be more consistent. I think they'll have more success on the ground. I think Kawan Lacey is just he's gonna have too much for Mississippi State to contend with, and I don't think Mississippi State will be able to be consistent enough to score with Ole Miss. But I haven't seen anything from Ole Miss that makes me think if they get 21 or if they get a 14-point lead, this game's just over.
Right.
Because that's just not how their games have played out this season outside of the Citadel.
Well, I
and the
mean,
South
also
Carolina game.
Tulane as well. Tulane's a good team. They're ranked top 25 right now. And they blew them out. They ran away from them.
Yeah, Tulane's a good team, but Mississippi State has
but
a
that was an
better
Austin
roster.
Simmons game.
It was.
I mean, that was a long time ago. Like
That was September.
that
20th.
was I mean that
That was also before you went.
No,
on
that was a Trinidad Chambliss game.
was that his first game?
Yeah, he got Austin Simmons got hurt in the Kentucky game.
Okay.
307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Come on.
That was also before you went on a stretch run of playing LSU, Washington State, at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina at home, and Florida.
Yeah.
And a season weighs on teams.
Yeah, it does.
I still think Ole Miss is the better team, and I do think they'll win here. But all I'm saying is that I think, based on the way that their games have played out this season, I don't think this is going to be something that it's just surefire, stamp it, Ole Miss is going to win, and they're going to win going away, because they just haven't done that this year.
Yeah.
Outside of, like, playing lower competition.
We talk about Mario Cristobaling a game away. Lane Kiffin could Lane Kiffin a game away hard here.
I mean,
you want to talk about what has defined the
We
Lane
can talk
Kiffin
to
era at Ole Miss? You want to talk about what's defined it? It's leaving the door open. It's leaving it up for speculation. It's getting that close. It's being you're almost in the playoff. You're almost in the SEC championship. This is the 1 year where you now completely control. In my mind, you're the better team. You should win. You completely control your own destiny here. No matter what happens next year, no matter if you're wearing purple and gold, or you're down in the swamp, or you go to Penn State for some reason, you can actually control it. You can actually leave no doubt that your team is going to be in the college football playoff, going to play for something meaningful,
and host a playoff game.
Yeah, but again, Lane Kiffin could Lane Kiffin right here, and he could be the 11th seed, and he could be. Well, I don't even want to think about the hypotheticals if that happened, but the point is the point.
Has Lane Kiffin the game this year?
No, but he almost did the Washington State game.
Yeah, that's the moment. That's what it was. Interesting.
He almost floored it because his team had 600 yards of offense, and they won by 10 points. 600 yards of total offense, and you win by 10 points.
It's insane.
So maybe you're right. Maybe he has already Lane Kiffined, and he's not going to lose. It's just going to be like dumb moments that you can point to when you watch Washington State about pulling out on the road. I mean, heck, you're looking at Washington State like, hey, should they be in the G5 mix? They about beat James Madison. They about beat.
Dude, no, they lost by
Ole
like
Miss.
40 to North
Yeah.
Texas, dude.
Yeah,
No,
I know, I'm joking.
no.
Nah, I'm joking. But
I know.
yeah, man. I'm taking Mississippi State. I think the boys are all on Ole Miss. Greg, I don't think I ever heard you say Ole Miss, but I'm just going to assume by your disdain for Mississippi State on the podcast.
Yes, I have so much disdain.
We'll ride for that. Chase, IT, I'm assuming you're Ole Miss as well.
Yeah, I do have that same feeling. I think it's going to be close. I think Ole Miss does the Ole Miss thing, and they pull one out close. And I think Mississippi State's this one hard, and they probably have a glimmer of hope somewhere around halftime in the third quarter, and then Ole Miss just kind of puts it on, and then Mississippi State gets their heart broken, and then they also get their heart broken and realize they have to deal with Lane for 5 to 7 more years
because he's staying.
Yeah.
Listen, boys,
incredible.
we've all given predictions on the game. That's fun. That's what we're here for. Now's the time for real predictions. Where is Lane Kiffin going?
He stays at Ole Miss.
We have two for he stays at Ole
He
Miss.
stays at Ole
All
Miss.
right,
He
Malcolm,
stays.
Greg.
I think I must say he stays.
I think that check is cut. I think he's at LSU.
They haven't officially gotten out from under that Brian Kelly mess, have they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Louisiana football matters. This is all they got. This is it. They don't care about.
They got the Saints.
The Saints are in cap
all
hell,
right.
dude. It's going to be another.
Well, you're talking about cap hell. The report is that it's a $90 million contract, $25 million per year for roster construction and development, and $54 million owed to Brian Kelly in buyout money. You do the math on that, you still got to hire assistant coaches. Hell, you still got to pay the water boy. Like what?
Yeah,
Wait, like is he going to be a student volunteer running around out there? Like, yeah.
That's where I'm at, Drew. That's where I'm at. Because it's like LSU's talking about this $90 million deal, and I'm thinking like, dear God, man, it almost feels like they're offering that up knowing they're going to get out of paying Brian Kelly. Because I don't know, again, the money's not real, but I don't know where that money's going to come from if you're paying $90 million for your new head coach, unless you're going to Shohei Ohtani him and pay him in like 15 years. It's like, hey, we'll listen, we'll give you like $1 million a year now,
Defer these payments.
and then once you retire with your Hall of Fame head coach,
Right.
like maybe we'll pay you the rest.
Maybe
of
the
it.
Earth will be blown up by then.
We won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how you're going to come up with $90 million for that. Which again, it won't be $90 million in a lump sum, but if he gets fired, then you've got to pay him that money probably on top of paying Brian Kelly and on top of paying for a roster. Because that roster, the way it's accumulated right now, is not like it's good. It's better than most schools. It's not championship level. They got some really nice pieces, but they're starting Michael Van Buren at quarterback. They just benched Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah,
and you think Michael Van Buren's the long-term answer?
And they obviously they play an incredibly difficult schedule as well, playing in the SEC. Like it's tough sledding.
Yeah, you're going to catch Florida. You're going to catch Bama every year.
Despite what Dan Lanning has to think about Chattanooga State or anybody like that.
Chattanooga State.
He is on my shit list so
we'll
bad.
get to him later.
They don't even have a football team.
Yeah, he has no idea about Chattanooga State and their
idea about the
fantastic softball program, I'm sure. Or I know a couple guys that play basketball there.
Quick question.
They do have a fantastic softball program.
Do you guys think he gets paid more per year than Kurt Signetti? Do you think he gets 11.5 plus?
Probably.
Not even.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
this is like a $13 million deal.
You always go bigger in the South.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, like I'm sure that contract was used as leverage. I'm absolutely
So he will be the third highest paid kid coach.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
playoff appearances, right?
Zero.
Yes.
Up to now.
Yeah.
Until this year.
Signetti, because Signetti made it last year.
Yep.
In his first try. Real first try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, real first try.
Yeah.
Real first try. Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be so crazy. Is we'll have a bunch of 1 and 2 timers be your second, third, fourth, because that would put if this all stays true, you're probably looking at like 11.75 something like that for Lane per year.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be Lane at 3 because Ryan Day and of course Kirby are number 1 and 2.
Kirby.
And will continue to be.
Yeah, and then so you'll have Kurt,
Probably.
Lincoln Riley, Mike Elko,
Oh gosh.
and then Dabo.
Lincoln Riley.
Dabo.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So
Yikes. All right.
on that logic, it's about a 50% chance that Lane Kiffin hits. Top 2 guys you mentioned right there, great. Lincoln Riley and Dabo. So maybe Lane Kiffin falls somewhere in the middle of that.
He's probably going to get around 12, if I had to guess.
What did Mike Elko get?
Like 11 something, I think.
Maybe, I think he was below Skirt.
I don't
Well,
remember.
at least Dabo's won national championships.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
it's been relevant. Lincoln hasn't done that.
Lincoln's just gotten his ass beaten a lot of playoff games.
Golly.
Yeah.
He's
developed a lot of good quarterbacks.
Yes.
Did you guys see that all 5 of the Oklahoma quarterbacks he had underneath them are starting at some point this season?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It was like a real stat until Spencer Rattler got pulled.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dylan Gabriel got pulled.
He had to get the mother shucker in there. I heard that today.
Wow.
Yeah. The mother shucker. Yeah. That's awesome, isn't it?
My wrist is hurting, man.
Oh God.
Oh no.
I'll never forget how you guys made me feel about
All right, on that note, I think we're mostly all on Ole Miss. Drew, you're on Mississippi State?
More cowbell, baby. I need it. The one game where I picked them this year, Arizona State, where I put myself on the line, they didn't let me down. I'm putting myself on the line once again. Mississippi State rolls 34-28 in Starkville, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Like, subscribe, all the things, and listen to the other Elite 8 Core 4 picks or whatever Chase called. Chase, what did you call it?
Core 4 Elite 8.
Core 4 Elite 8. Robert.
There it is. Core 4 Elite 8 Holiday Edition.